天皇陛下 만歳!
Hey guys, I Saw Bear here, and today I'll be talking about the update 0.028 for the game, Foxhole. This update comes in two stages. One will just be the traditional update that you guys are used to, and the other part will talk a little bit about World Conquest that will be coming to us very soon. Let's start with the traditional update. So right off the bat, we've got a new world structure. This is known as the firing range. Currently, the firing ranges are located only on Deadlands, Upper Heartlands, and Endless Shore. So what is the targeting range? Essentially, it's just a couple of targets that are set up at different distances. You can practice hitting these targets with any weapon in the game. The advantage here is that depending on your weapon and depending on the distance of the target, it will give you a readout for how much damage your weapon is currently doing to that target. This is a great way to introduce new players to the damage models in the game. Some of the old familiar buildings have been given a new coat of paint. The workshop, supply station, and the manufacturing plant have been given new in-game models. They function exactly the same, but they look a lot prettier now. Or a lot more rugged, I guess. Speaking of buildings, the medical lab, workshop, weapon factory, vehicle factory, and supply stations are now all destructible. Yes, you heard that right. These buildings are now vulnerable to enemy attacks. Vehicle factories will take roughly 3 satchel charges to take out. All the other structures will take 2. The vehicle factories will cost 400 basic materials to fix, while the other structures will take about 300. Now all the players in-game who have been practicing their stealth moves will have perfect roles as saboteurs in each of the armies. Another building that we're familiar with is now gone. The oil refinery has been removed. Instead, fuel is now gathered at nodes far away from towns, similar to scrap or components. These locations will now be hotspots for fighting, and it won't make fueling your vehicles nearly as easy as it was before. To compensate for that, starter town halls now contain 400 fuel at the beginning of a war. Town hall stockpiles and outpost stockpiles now accept basic materials, refined materials, fuel, and civic materials. Don't worry about the civic materials, these will come into play once World Conquest is fully implemented. The newest weapon to be featured in the game is the sticky bomb. It will cost you 100 basic mats to produce 10 of these at the weapons factory. So how do these explosives work? Well, they're a high-yield explosive with a very short fuse. You need to be right up to an object or vehicle to plant it. These will stick to any surfaces: rocks, vehicles, buildings, anything. So to light the fuse on a sticky bomb, you want to hit the left mouse button. Keep holding the left mouse button until you're ready to release it. Your soldier will drop it to the ground or any object near him, and you'll only have a few seconds to get away. Hold on to it for too long and, well. Additionally, sledgehammers now give additional XP over the default hammer, that is. Vehicle Factory tech levels 2 and 3 now require 50 additional tech parts each, so 100 total to get to tech level 3. Some other game changes include server names are now displayed on the map screen, so you no longer have to ask in-game which server you're on. The servers have been optimized, and join queues have now been implemented for servers. So when a server is full, instead of kicking you back to the main menu, the game will now put you in a queue for that server. This queue will also display how many players are ahead of you. There were some other bug fixes in this update, but I'll leave that for the patch notes down below. Now, on to the World Conquest. Throughout this weekend, World Conquest will occur on the Deadlands and Upper Heartlands maps. These won't contain the full World Conquest, these are mostly just to test out the logistics of World Conquest. The first official World Conquest is set to start May 4th, at a time that's to be determined. Remember, World Conquest is replacing the weekly war structure, so hopefully this will give us more prolonged wars to fight over. I've put the details up on screen because I don't want to read it out in full, but hopefully you get the gist of it. If you're not familiar with the concept of World Conquest, I suggest you watch some of the dev streams where they talked about it. They go into much further detail. And that about does it for this update. Thanks for bearing with me, guys. I've had a lot of things to do this week, from getting in my first car, to preparing to move out of my house, and a whole bunch of other things. So because I'm doing all these other things, expect a bit of a media blackout from me for the next week. It sucks, but there's definitely no way around it. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest Foxhole updates. And as always, good luck, keep your heads down, and stay in your foxholes. Bear out.